Hello, everyone, and welcome to the last page of Chapter 12, our stats unit. And so this is going to be for questions 16 through 20. All right, it says use the box and whisker plot to find each measure. So what is our lower extreme? Remember that our extreme values are the upper and lower. And so our lower extreme is going to be at 3. Our upper extreme is going to be at 14. And then we have our Q1, our Q2, and our Q3. So our Q2 is our median, our Q1 is our median of the left-hand side of data, our Q3 is our median of the right-hand side of data. And so remember that we have 25% in each section of data, 25%, 25% here, 25% here, so 50% in the box, and then 25% here. And so when I answer these questions, I can keep that in mind. So what's my lower quartile? My Q1 is at 6. It's a 5-point summary. My upper quartile is going to be at 11. My median is going to be right there, dead center in the middle. Q2 is going to be at 8. And so, what is my inner quartile range? My inner quartile range is going to be the stuff in the box. It's going to be Q3 minus Q1, which is going to be 11 minus 6, which gives me 5. So it's going to be my Q3 minus my Q1 to find the range of the box. Oh, that's a terrible 1, minus Q1. All right, so then it asks you to create a box and whisker plot. I went ahead and did that just to save some time to find the following data set. So we put it in order from least to greatest. And so I went ahead and did that, and I went ahead and labeled my number line. And so what is my my lower quartile, my lower extreme going to be? It is going to be the smallest number, which of course is 0. So I'm going to put a dot there. What's my upper extreme? It's going to be 18, so I'm going to put a dot there. And then I'm going to find my quartiles for my box. And so there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pieces of data, meaning that there are going to be 10 pieces of data on the left. I'm sorry, 5 pieces of data on the left, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces of data on the right. So what's going to be the middle of 8 and 9? The middle of 8 and 9 is going to be 8.5. And so I'm going to have to put that between 8 and 9. 8.5 is going to be my Q2. And so then I find the middle of my left-hand piece of data. That's going to be 7. It's going to be my Q1. And then the 14 is going to be my Q3. And then I'm just going to connect to the box. So blue to blue, Q1 to Q3. There's my median in the middle. And then I'm going to put whiskers out to these extremes. And so there is my box and whisker plot. What is the most hours spent on TikTok? Of course, we'd say 18. What is the median hours spent? We got 8.5 hours for that. What is the upper quartile? That's our Q3. That's going to be 14. And what is the inner quartile range? Well, that's going to be my Q3 minus my Q1. So 14 minus 7 is going to give me 7. Remember that 50% of the data lies in that box. 25% lies on either whisker on the left-hand side and the right-hand side. And then we have a dot plot. It says to use this dot plot below to answer these questions. And so this is pretty quick. That's the good thing about dot plots. How many students spent 5 hours studying? Well, exactly 2. All right, how many students participated in the survey? You'd add them all together. You just count the number of dots. You get 20 students total participated. What percentage spent 2 or 3 hours studying? That's going to be this amount. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's going to be 9 out of 20. And then we're going to turn that into a percentage. That's going to be about 45%. What is the mean of the set of data? We'd add them all up, and we would divide by the total number, and so we'd say 50 over 20. When you added all these hours up, 50 over 20 is going to give me 2.5 is our mean. And so what is our median? Well, I said that there's 20 pieces of data, and so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then you'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So what's the median going to be? The median is going to be between 2 and 2, which of course is just going to be 2. And then what is the mode? Which one occurred most often? Well, which one has the highest number of dots will be 2 hours. So what is the distribution? Well, that if the mean is 2.5 and the median is 2, this is going to be slightly skewed right. Not a ton, but this person who studied for 7 hours is an outlier. And so that's bringing it slightly skewed to the right. So we're going to use the median in this case. Most students didn't study 7 hours. A lot of the data is over here, and this skews this data slightly right, so the tail is on the right. So this is slightly skewed to the right. Not a ton, but slightly. All right, now we're going to look at some scatter plots. Use the scatter plots and lines of best fit to answer these questions. What type of correlation is shown? Well, since there's a negative slope, this is going to be negative correlation. write an equation for the line of best fit. So if I were to extend this line and kind of guesstimate where that's at, y equals mx plus b. So I would have a slope of about positive 12. We know that this is going to be a negative slope, so a negative correlation, negative something x. I'm going to use those 2 points to count rise over run. And so it looks like it goes from the 0.28 down to 5. And so whenever you don't have to necessarily know how to calculate this slope exactly here, but I do want you to see that whenever you use the slope formula, that's going to be 8 minus 1.5 over 2 minus 5. That's going to give me 6.5 over negative 3. And so that's going to be a negative 6.5 over 3 slope. You could kind of guesstimate that. You would just look for the one that matches most closely. But we will calculate lines of best fit in the calculator. If he practices 4 hours, how many mistakes will he make? So at 4 hours, he'd make somewhere around, you could use your equation actually also, you'd make about 2.8 mistakes. So about 3 or about 2.8 mistakes. Using the formula, you get 2.8. Using the graph, you get somewhere around like 3. 3 or 4. Okay, so what type of correlation is shown on the Davenports if Jack gets hired to work at Davenports? We have a positive correlation here. So this has a positive slope, positive correlation. Meaning that whenever I do my equation, y equals mx plus b, this should be a positive number for my slope. Negative number on this one. And so my y-intercept is somewhere around 0. And so when I look at my slope, it looks like it goes up 65 and right 10, which is going to be about 6.5x. 13 over 2, which is 16.5x, or 6.5x. And you could do 13 over 2 if you want. That's our rise over our run. So if 80 pizzas are sold, what do you expect for, so 50, 60, 70, 80, we'd be way out here. And so you'd use the equation and you'd plug it in. So that would be y equals 6.5 times 80. And that is going to give me 520 using that line of best fit or that trend line. So those are just estimations. We didn't go a ton into that, but just recognizing if it's positive correlation, it's going to be positive slope. If it's negative correlation, it should be negative slope, and then approximating your y-intercepts. And so that is the last page. And oh my gosh, we are done with geometry. Congratulations. You've made it through your 4th 9 weeks review. And so this is the very last page. Y'all are awesome.